Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter 4, verse 49 and 50. I'll hand out the call to Shireshwar Sham Prabhuji to give brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please take
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dhanavad Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services to the devotee community and served the community by donating for lots of projects. For example, he donated the deities in Philadelphia temple and he made 3,000 temple units that serve as an altar in the villages. Prabhuji also served as temple president of ISKCON New Jersey for 15 years. Prabhuji is known for his simplicity and humility. Prabhuji is now an initiating guru in ISKCON. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Samik Rishi Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us in this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavata. I'll hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Happy Ekadasi and happy Gita Jayanti, everyone. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, we are not able to hear you, Prabhu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now it is up. Yes, Prabhuji.
You can hear now, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So Mangalacharan prayers. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhyastam Swayam Rupa Kadam Darati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kripadan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Cham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahamadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krapa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna. So thank you so much for giving me opportunity to speak on this Hansa Guvya prayers 6, 4, 49 and 50. So little bit background on this, that Parikshit Maharaj inquiring about the Sukadeva Goswami, some further about Daksha Prajapati and how the progeny and what happened to Prachetas. The Prachetas are 10 brothers, children of Prachina Barisar. And so when they were doing austerities, then they got some, Lord Shiva appeared there and he gave them some instruction. But when they came, they saw that in their absence, so many forests were grown, all the trees, tall trees, only dark, and there was no crops were coming. So they became very angry. And then they, with their mouth, with their body, with their austerity, they could produce so much air and then also some fire, and they burned, they were burning the woods. Then Soma, the presiding deity of the moon god, he appeared and then he stopped them. So Prachetas, they say that you accept this Marisha, and then we got from Dakshina Prajapati. And So he created many demigods and demons and beasts and so on that he created, but still he could not fulfill the fill the earth planet with the progeny because he was a Prajapati. Praja means brother said. So what he then he had, he sang this the Hansa Goya prayers. These are not his original prayers. They are there for time immemorial, like Bhagavatam is there from time immemorial or Bhagavad Gita to the sun god. So Hansa Goya prayers were sung by Daksha Prajapati. And then he, so Lord, by his prayers and humility, Lord appeared there, and in his the Lord has personal and impersonal forms. So Lord has personal form, that is Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Gopinath. So that is his personal form, but by his effulgence, he is an impersonal form also. So everything that emanates from the Supreme Lord, that is really all spiritual, but because of our tendency to use it for matter, then it becomes contaminated. Later on, this Daksha Prajapati, so Lord, he is glorifying the Lord and is glorifying the devotees, and so Lord is speaking to him. So these verses were spoken by the Supreme Lord. So he's saying, the Supreme Lord is saying that text number. Text number 49 and 50. Yavai yada mahadevo mama viryopavrannhitah mene khila mevatmanam udyatah swarga karmani athame abhito devastapo tapyata daruna Yushman Yenadasrajad Vibhu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. When the chief Lord of the universe, Lord Brahma, is the secondary creator, the primary creator is Krishna, having been inspired by by my energy, that is Krishna's energy, was attempting to create. He thought himself incapable. Therefore, I give him advice, and in accordance with my instructions, he underwent extremely difficult austerities. Because of these austerities, the great Lord Brahma was able to create 9 personalities, including you, means Daksha is also a son of this Daksha Prajapati of Lord Brahma, to help him in functions of creation. So Brahma, then he also created many different Prajapatis, 9 of them, and so purport, nothing is possible without tapasya. So without tapasya, you need tapasya, austerities to achieve something. Even Yashoda Mai, when she wanted to tie Krishna, then she could not do it, but she did so much austerity, so much endeavor. And because of that, the Lord became merciful, the Lord became kind, and he was bound up. So Lord Brahma, however, was empowered to create this entire universe because of his austerity. Then, more we engage in austerities, the more we become powerful by the grace of the Lord. Therefore, Rishabdev advised his sons, Tapo Divyam Putraka Yena Sattvam Sudhet. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service by such penance and austerity. By such activity, one's heart is purified. In our material existence, we are impure and therefore we cannot do anything wonderful. But if we purify our existence by tapasya to please Krishna, to do anything, any service for Krishna, we have senses, so we should use these senses for service of the Lord. That is, that is what is his bhakti. Therefore, tapasya is very important as stressed in this verse. So tapasya is very necessary, and so Lord is instructing. So let me give you about how Brahma got this. So Brahma was created by Garbhodaksha Vishnu. He appeared from the navel, and there was a long lotus stem coming from the navel, and on the top of that lotus stem was Brahma. Brahma was there, and then he was naturally he knew from his previous birth that he has to do our previous whatever he was, that he was born because to create and fill up the progeny. So he was a secondary engineer, create the jiva soul, create the material world and the different bodies, and so that was his job, and to see the well-being of that creation. Maintenance is done by Vishnu and destruction is done by Lord Shiva. So he could not really understand, who wanted to know where is my birthplace. So he went through that umbilical cord all the way down, but he could not go. He was doing for 1,000 years almost. He went down, down, down. He could not reach to the bottom or to where what is his source of creation. Then he came up, and then he heard words, tapa, tapa, austerity. So he performed austerity again, and then later on he got a sound vibration from Krishna or flute of Krishna, and that flute of Krishna's sound is called Gayatri. So he heard and he got whole like Srimad Bhagavatam, and so Vedic knowledge. Veda means Vidya. Vidya, like Vidya word, this comes from Vidwan or Vidyavan. So Vidwan, Vid means knowledge. So when we say Veda, means it is all the knowledge that is there. Vedas, Puranas, Itihasas. Then there are so many 108 Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. So many Puranas are there. But the topmost Purana is Srimad Bhagavatam, what we are reading now. So when Brahma did all this, then he was empowered by the Lord to do the creation. He got the knowledge, and then through that knowledge, he started creating. He got all the equipment. So that is necessary, some austerity. You cannot just think that just now I'm a devotee, everything happened by itself. We have to engage in some service. Rashikesha, Rashikena, Sevanam Bhaktir, Uttama. Rashik means senses, and Rashikesha, the master of the senses. And then you should use the master of the senses, should use all the senses for service of the Lord, service of the master of the senses. And that way we become purified, our heart becomes purified. So there are many, many instructions, what is good, what is bad, and we follow those instructions for the devotional service that is given in Bhagavad Gita. So Rishabh Dev is giving just the first verse of Rishabh Dev that is being quoted here. Nayam deho deha bhajam nraloke kastan kaman arate vidbhujam ye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam sudhed asmad brahma sokyam tu anantam. Lord Rishabh Dev was telling his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who has accepted material bodies. So all of us who are in the material body, they have accepted material body. In this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night. Simply, so we engage in so much hard work, 1 job, 2 job, running around, 3 hours a drive to go to work, 3 hours to come back. And what is the purpose? They just come back home. They cannot even eat it on the table. I have seen many, many people going all the way. I was in United States from Scranton and Wilkes-Barre to all the way to New York. It takes 3 hours in the traffic. They get caught up, and then it takes even more time. So they work 8-9 hours, and while driving, they eat there some sandwich or something. They come back home like 11-12 o'clock, turn on TV, eat something, have sex life, and then go back again. Some children cannot even see their parents because they sleep, and when the father goes, then they wake up later on and they cannot even see. It is such a horrible culture, such a bad effect on the children, and that's the life. And that so this kind of sense gratification is, they work very, very hard day, which is available, the same enjoyment of food and sex and residence, they enjoy even more than us. And servants enjoy more. The boss works very hard. Boss is a very, very expensive car, and the driver enjoys that more than even the master. The same thing, house, he creates 1 house, 2 houses, many houses, buys, but the servants, they enjoy. And he has no time. He is cannot and always in worry. So this kind of enjoyment, that is eating, sleeping, mating, depending, is always available to the hawks and who eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of beautiful service. So same austerity what you are doing for earning money and making big palatial buildings, if it is used for devotional service, then that is the proper use of the human being. Every human being, means everyone has to do certain, they have some certain swarup, Jivira Swarupa, Krishna Nitya Das, or there is certain duty or dharma. Dharma means what duty they have to do. Like sugar has to be sweet, then only it would be called sugar, or salt, it has to be salty, or spice has to be spicy, water has to be liquid. So there is duty. So what is our dharma? Our dharma is to serve. Everybody is serving, but that service should be go to Krishna, whose part and parcel we are. So our service should be there, and that is the bhakti yoga that should be practiced. So by such activity, means austerities and penances for Krishna, like you have to wake up. Prabhupada gives the example that even if it is a summer time, you have to cook for the Supreme Lord. Even if you are sweating, you have to take a bath, even very cold. You have to take a cold bath in the winter time, like December, January is very, very cold in Vrindavan and Delhi, and even in different places, it is very cold. What to say about America? So there did not used to be any rainwater. I know when I went to Vrindavan, and then people were, there was no even nice rooms or hot water. So they will dig the ice and then take some lota of water underneath the ice, and they will take shower and go run to the temple. So how much austerity is there? Means it's already cold, and then the cold water on top of that. But devotees, they tolerated just on belief, trusting Srila Prabhupada that it will liberate us. It will make our heart free from contamination. We are contaminated for many, many lifetimes. So now let us purify it, because it is the human life. So Prabhupada's potency was so much that everybody followed him, and everybody did austerity. Even new children, like new boys, they just joined and they were, okay, you go to this Germany, you go to France, you go to open a temple, and they just knew Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Just little bit they heard from Prabhupada, and based on the belief and trust to Srila Prabhupada, they opened a temples. So one's heart, so that purifies our heart. Chanting is a austerity. To chant 16 rounds sitting at one place is not easy. Mind goes distract so many places. You have to bring it back again on the sound vibration, but it purifies our heart, which has been contaminated lifetimes. And when one attains his position, he attains eternal blissful life. So once it is once for all, in one stroke, you get the grace of the Supreme Lord, and then there is no suffering, birth, death, old age, disease, adi devik, adi bhautik, adhyatmik, nothing would be there, and only it would be done in the human life, which is so very, very valuable. So there's blissful, which is transcendental to the material happiness. We get happiness that is just not even a drop in the ocean. Our heart or our soul is looking for anandam vardhanam pratipadam, that ananda that increases at every step, and spiritual ananda. Here we have a material ananda which disappears, which is just very flickering. Chapala sukha lava lagire. So that is what is here, and which contain that happiness continues forever. So that is the purport of this. Now Lord Brahma, I will like to speak little bit about Brahma, who is Brahma and what kind of koti Brahma. And so Brahma is there are three qualities: Brahma, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. So Rajogun, that is Brahma is in charge of the Rajogun, and so that he is also Guna avatar, and Purusha avatar also is, but Guna avatar basically. So there is a Jiva Koti Brahma. If anyone who does Varnashram Dharma, follows Varnashram Dharma for 100 times or 100 lifetimes, then he becomes eligible to take the post of Brahma. But if there is no eligible person, then Krishna takes the Jiv Koti Brahma or Ishwar Koti Brahma. So mostly it is available, like we have four-headed Brahma, And there are many headed Brahma. They are in charge of the whole universe, and all the universal affairs are taken care by them. And so Jagadanda Vidhana in Brahma Samhita, there is a verse, Bhashwan Yathashma Sakaleshu Nijeshu Teja Suyam Kiyat Prakatayatyapi Tadvadatra Brahmaya Esha Jagadanda Vidhana Karta Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Jagadanda Vidhana Karta. So Vyastiji, so Brahma is a secondary creator. Krishna gives all the seeds, everything. And then he take the substances from Mahatattva. Originally it is Prakriti. Prakriti is an energy, external energy of Krishna. Then when Krishna sees on that, or looks at that, then there is a disturbance, Khalvali Majjati. And then because of that, there is that Samyavastha, an equal position was there of Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamogun. It is disturbed, and then there is a mixture of so many different gunas, and by this he takes the substance to create living bodies, like say building a house, and how many things are needed. So it is all there given by Krishna. It is by the Prakriti, or you may say Mahatattva, they take it, and everything ultimately it goes to the Mahatattva. So Lord Shiva destroys, the Vishnu does takes care of maintenance of the living, and then he comes. So Krishna lives with us as a Paramatma, Paramatma. So Shirodakshai Vishnu, he expands into Paramatma, and he lives with every living being, and he goes with us to hellish planet, everywhere he goes with us. So that is, and he lives for so many now, 1,000 times Chaturyogi. That is 1 day of Brahma, same is the night. Then there is certain pralaya of certain extent. Then Brahma has a life of 100 years, and at them there is again pralaya, but then everything, all the planetary system goes away. Then it comes into the body of Mahavishnu, all the Jiva souls, and then you may say, what happens to the substance? They shrink and they remain there as Prakriti. So Prakriti is there. Prakriti does not go into the body of Mahavishnu. But all the Jiva soul, along with their mind, intelligence, and ego, they go to the body of Mahavishnu. And then the next millennium, next day of Brahma, when Brahma appears again, then there is a breathing of Mahavishnu, and by that breathing, then all these living beings are produced, and the also Brahmanda, universes are created. So that is Ishwar Koti Brahma. And here it is like that, yes, you must glorify the devotees. Glorification is very necessary part. Like Srila Prabhupada also even glorified. Like Govinda Dasi, she was taking care of the Tulsi, and he glorified her for her taking care of the Tulsi. And same way, Jayananda, he was making chariots and taking care of that, and he was working and repairing everything. And Prabhupada so much was happy with him, and he told that he will go back home, back to Godhead, which is not that easy blessing. But Prabhupada blessed him with that he will go back home, back to Godhead. So these are the activities, and one should glorify by the, and that is glorification is not by comparison that he has done. Glorification by the qualities of the devotee, not by comparison. So austerity, there are austerity in Bhagavad Gita. It describes what austerity of the tongue, austerity of the mind, austerity, what kind of food. And sometimes people are so much foolish, and I have seen and I have treated people, they will eat so much that they like food. Just for few minutes it is on the tongue, and tongue's a different part, has a different taste buds. And it remains for a short time, but they will vomit, they put their fingers in the mouth, they will vomit, eat again. So they will eat 10-15 times because they enjoy the food, or they take purgatives and they pass away. So laxatives or purgatives, and so austerity. So we will a little bit discuss about austerity of tongue, austerity of the mind, austerity of the what different austerity of different things it has been described here. Then 17th chapter, text number 15, 17-15. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya pyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapauchyate. Vang means he is speaking. Austerity of the speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literatures. So tongue has two functions, speaking and then also taking the test. So you eat prasad only and nothing else. Mana prasada. So and satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence are the austerity of the mind. One should be satisfied. Matra sparshastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityam tas titikshava bharat. We should tolerate. So, and we should be satisfied. And simplicity, arjavam. Arjavam is very, very important part. You may be serving, but if you are proud of your service, I have done this, I am this and this, then you cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. Arjavam, that is simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence. You may say, what is purification? Means we are contaminated and we have to purify it by chanting, by taking prasad, by talking very sweetly, by serving. So they gradually our contaminated heart becomes purified and we advance further. The threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits. So that is not for sense gratification. We work hard for senses of Krishna, to please senses of Krishna, and not pleasing our senses. That is the austerity, but engage only for the sake of the Supreme is called austerity in goodness. There is austerity in patience and ignorance also. Penance is performed out of pride and for sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in the mode of patience. It is neither stable nor permanent. And the austerity in mode of Tamagun, that is performed out of foolishness, like Varakasur, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Indradyumna, Hiranyakashipu. So that is austerity. They did so much austerity that the Varakasur or Bhasmasur, their body was completely gone, the meat, and only in the bone the soul was there. So penances performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be the mode of ignorance. So dan also, that when you give dan, tap, and he had virakti, these are necessary in life, although for a pure devotee, this may be helpful in the beginning, but then these are, people become proud when, oh, I'm so nice, I give so much charity, so that should not be exposed in that way. So charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time, place, and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Worthy person means for creation of temple, printing books, helping some Vaishnavas, devotees, that's pleasing to the Lord. It means the Lord gets sold out to such a person and who serves his devotees. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitful result or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mood of passion. And giving anybody, and charity performed in at an impious place at an improper time to unworthy person or without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mood of ignorance. So giving unworthy person, people are drunkard, people are and so many, not only drunkard, take different kinds of drugs, go to prostitution, have no follow, no rules, no regulation, very filthy, and you may say he's a poor man, let me just give it. But it may create problems for devotee who are giving this. It should be, there should be mode of goodness, not ignorance. And so it should be given in that proper way. So 3 words, Om Tat Sat, were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These 3 symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas and while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. So everything should be done for satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, not for our self-aggrandizement. So as I said, glorification should be by the quality of the others, not by comparison that, oh, in austerity of the Sharira Vidyajal, we sing Sharira Vidyajal Jadendrita Hekal Jive Pele Vishaya Sagare तार मध्ये जीवा येते लोभमय सुंदरमती ताके चिताकडे नसणारे कृष्ण बडो दयामय कोरीवारी जीवा जो तो प्रसाद दिल भाई सेनामृत पाव राधा कृष्ण गुणगाव प्रेमे दाखो चैतन्य निताई. So sometimes blaspheming and flattering. You blaspheme somebody, you flatter somebody, and that is for your own selfishness. So, but their heart is empty when they glorify somebody. It should be filled with feeling for the other person. Love heart, daya se, karuna se bhara hua hona chahiye. Not superficially, oh, I gave this. I went to Haridwar one time, and one politician, he was having so many apples and bananas, and he was passing by, and he was saying, take it, take it. But his heart was empty. He wanted to take the voting from them to become a minister. So he was doing all that. So that is contaminating. It is not really proper. Neither it is good to do or give charity in this way. So it should be with feeling in the heart. We sing Jana Gana Mana Nayaka Jai Jai Bharata Bhagavad. That was a prayer sung. Rabindranath Tagore, I think he wrote it, but it is for the Viceroy. That, oh, you do this. And so this is not a proper prayer. Our prayers are Vaishnava prayers. To pray for Krishna, there is so many prayers done in the Srimad Bhagavatam. 22 prayers are there by even Dhuru Maharaj and Kunti Devi and Brahmaji and all the demigods, and many prayers are there. We could sing them. So prayerful mood should be there for Krishna, for Supreme Lord. And you give respect to the demigods, but don't put demigods on the place of Krishna, are not equal. So tongue is compared to a prostitution. There is no chastity. It will speak anything nonsense. It will eat anything horrible. So that is for those people who are not misusing the tongue. Tongue is. So we have to consciously glorify the devotees and Krishna. So just like, so Krishna protects his devotees. You see the heart of Draupadi, that Ashwatthama killed her all 5 sons. And then she forgive her. And he is also the son of your Guru, and how his mother will feel. So I am also a mother, so I have that feeling. So same feeling that we have should be felt for others also, that they will also, you put in their position, not taking advantage. Sometimes people do 40 days are fasting, and then they eat so much that they become sicker. That is not, and then that is just for the namesake. They go, politicians, they fast for a month, 40 days or more, but that's not really necessary. They want to convince that, yes, that should be, our demand should be fulfilled, but that has nothing to do with. So same kind of thing should not be done between a devotee and Krishna itself. Some people, they glorify Ravan. Oh, he is such a Vidwan and such a knowledgeable person. And so this is only people of Ravan kind would glorify Ravan. So preaching is the most glorious activity. And why it is most glorious? Because Krishna wants his children who have gone away from him, who are bereft of Krishna consciousness, they come back to Krishna. So if you are giving in charity or other way, then the best thing to give is Krishna consciousness. Ask them to chant, put them tilak, 12 places, so they will remember Vishnu, and let them read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, tell them some stories about Bhagavad Gita. So it should be started from very childhood. And so children, invite children, have Bhagavad Gita courses for them, or contest test Bhagavad Gita, and that will help. And we have to tolerate everybody as children of Krishna. So we have to tolerate other living beings, each other, and not that thinking that my way is the highway. There are different people, different tendency, different mentality. So it should be taken as that, yes, they are also my brother and sisters. We are all part of Krishna. Everybody is equal in one sense, not that position, but everybody is child of Krishna. So we should not like Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Suni Cheva Swapakicha Pandita Samadarshi. The Pandit is Samdarshi. He looks equally that they are also living being, part and parcel of Krishna. So in that way, in simplicity mood and in devotional mood and serving everybody, bringing them to lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, that is the best service, that is the best, that is the most glorious activity. And we should have a complete faith in the books of Srila Prabhupada, that he has given us everything in his books. And we read, apply on our life, and go on with our life with chanting, feasting, preaching, following rules and regulation. So it is not very difficult, but if we could make ourselves difficult for Krishna consciousness, otherwise simplicity is the most important part. So we should do sadhana in association with devotees. We should not live. The worst thing is that you get, you are not with devotees. So you should either go to their homes and do those 6 activity of like bhungte bhojate cheva, so giving gift and confidential things should be given. So we should be genuinely concerned for others from the heart, not superficially, not show up, and appreciating. You may say that if I appreciate, it will increase his false ego. That is not true, because the other devotee is also, he understands. He would, like Prabhupada was glorified many times, so he always gave credit to his Guru Maharaj. He never. So it's not that flattering. It is not a flattering. It is not. If flattering is just done for something that I will get back, that is flattering. But appreciation with a pure heart is always necessary. One should glorify other devotees for their activity. Prabhupada has done many, many times that my Guru Maharaj gave you all. I am just your servant, and you are sent by my spiritual master. So Prabhupada took lifetime in preparation. When he came here, there is a Satsvarup Maharaj, His Holiness Satsvarup Maharaj wrote a book, Lifetime in Preparation. So how much austerity he has performed. He lived alone, he would become unconscious, not drinking, walking, just for a little paisa. He walked in Delhi. Even when he came to America, he was walking without any proper clothing in such a cold weather. So he has done all for hour, waking up at hardly sleeping 2 hours, 3 hours to write this Bhaktivedanta purpose. It's not easy. So, and service, as far as service is done, even if one hand or one finger, if somebody has a, and Prabhupada glorified him. One person had one hand was amputated, and Prabhupada glorified that, yes, with only one hand you could do so much services for Krishna. So Krishna does not mind whatever you are, if it is by the heart. Apichetsu duracharo bhajate mamananya bhav sadhu reva samantavya samyak vyavasthito isa. So God is offering a discount, particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this age. He is Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prem Pradayate, which no other incarnation is given. He is giving Pancham Purushartha. Panchama Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, these are the 4 Purushartha. But beyond this 4th Purushartha is Krishna Prem. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed that. More than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Megnani, is even Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He opened the marketplace. Come, take it, whatever. And what is the mulya? The lolyam api eklim mulya. That you should be eager to take it. And he distributed. No condition. Whatever you are, doesn't matter. And they showed it by their practical life. So we should always glorify and the Supreme Lord and serve them to Sri Sri Gaur Nitai. So Prabhupada, Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, whole parampara, and we should be obliged to them. We should feel that yes, they have done so much for us. And devotee association is there. And so Krishna himself become like bound by the devotees, by their love of devotees. Sada muktopi baddhos me bhaktesu raju. So Krishna says that I am free, but I am being bound by the sneha raju of my devotees. Ajitopi, jitoham, that I am ajit. Nobody can conquer me, but I am conquered by my pure devotee. Jitoham, ter avashyopi vashikrata. So there are many. He is bound by the love of his pure devotees. Gopis, chachya bari chachate nacha nachar. Lala, dance. I will give some buttermilk. One buttermilk, who is master of, who is owner of all millions of Charachar Jagat. But he, just because they give with love, and then he becomes their puppet. So, sadhu hridayam mayam, that's sadhunam hridayam tuham, nyantena jananti naham tebhyo managapi. Krishna is saying that sadhugan is my heart. And the sadhus, he is the heart of the sadhus. They do not know anything other than Krishna. And I don't know anything other than my devotees. So this is Bhakti Ras. Aham Bhaktapadi, that I am not Swatantra. He is Swatantra eva Dvija. This was told by Vishnu to Durvasa Muni. He is Swatantra eva Dvija. Sadhubhir grasta hridayo bhaktar bhakta jana priya. So the devotees love me and love them, and I love them by heart. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tas tathavya bhajamyam. So whatever way Krishna reciprocates, and so it is so easy. It's so bhakti ras is so. The others are so much austerity. Like I told you, the people who work hard and go to they travel in the Bombay. Who train bhari will develop and you could fall down and you could hurt just for a little sense enjoyment, which is available in any lifetime. So just for question answers, I will stop here. Bhakti is nirgun, means it is beyond these three gunas. A material world is full of three gunas. Means Sattvagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. Bhakti is Ananda Rupa. Ananda, that Ananda always increases. Bhakti Ananda. The Ananda, Krishna is also like becomes happy by our sadhana, but we become more happy. Bhakti Ananda, that is higher than Swarupananda of Krishna. So I will end here. If you have any comments or questions, this is about that we were reading the original our we begin from this Ansagurya prayers were by Daksha Prajapati. So it started from Daksha Prajapati, and then but he was not, he was a sense enjoyer. So Krishna gave him sense enjoyment. He could have become a pure devotee. So at the end, like he did that, okay, he married and then he had many children produced, and but that is all for sense enjoyment. It's not that, see, these four Kumaras, they refused to get married. Although Brahma told them, get married, no, they remained, okay, we don't want to get, they remained like children. So Narad Muni means he never agreed to get married and produce children. And Brahma became very angry. This 9 that it says about the 9 children, and I will tell you their names. There is Saptarshi, and they are all part of come from Brahma. So Angira, Rishi, Atri, Pulasya, Marichi, Pulah, Jambavan is also Brahma. Bhragu, Vasishtha, Daksh, Narad, Chitragupta, 4 Kumaras. Him, Shatarupa, his Brahma also had produced Manu and Shatarupa. They were then their progeny, but initially they were produced by the mind or by different places. So it's not necessary that there has to be union of male and female. One can produce children like that, like Brahmaji has done it. So thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. Really, it was so enlightened, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. If anybody have any questions or realization you'd like to share, please unmute yourself. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Pranam Jeshwapa.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. My pranam to you also.
Hare Krishna. Very nice class, very nice details. So thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Ramdas.
Krishna, Ram. Yes, Prabhu.
I actually have a quick question. You were talking about austerities in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and you know Prabhupada was saying only by austerities can we become powerful to do anything wonderful, including service to the Lord. I was wondering, you know, we, especially with austerity of speech, but even all the austerities, you know, it's when you see, you know, maybe old friends or old family members and relatives, you've built so many samskaras that you've acted a certain way with them for so long. How do you catch yourself from these habitual ways that you interact and perform austerities of speech and act in a higher way that they can, you know, recognize that you're doing something transcendental rather than, you know, going down to their level with maybe, you know, yelling or screaming or getting emotional over, like, how do we, you know, stay transcendental, especially in these, you know, especially with our relatives.
Yeah, you were with 100 people of your relatives, and they were all merry-go round, drinking and joking and laughing and dancing and eating so much abominable food. But you should follow your own on sadhana, around whatever it is. Let people, you have done for so long anyway, that you cook your own or just eat some fruits, milk, and don't get mixed up by you're seeing the transcendental face and brilliance and little bit what Krishna wants. They will be happy, they will get the benefit. Your parents would get the benefit, your relatives or the relatives would get the benefit by just seeing you, by just touching you, by hearing from you. So don't drop your own sadhana just for sake of making them pleased. Like if you are, like I had a lady came, she had some children. She told me that what can I do? My husband is meat eater. My relatives also, they are forcing me, but I stay untouched by them. They stay together, but they don't have any. So she is so staunch. She donated some money and she took two Bhagavad Gita's and she says that, okay, you give it to somebody who don't have money or who are, you feel that they are sincere. And so give them Bhagavad Gita. So that is, even if you are in between, like Prabhupada's own sister, Fishima, and her husband was eating fish. Bengali eat fish like a jalturai, as if it's a vegetable. So, but she will cook even for them. But she had separate parts. She will offer to Krishna, and they could stay together. So, going with parents and their love, affection, but it's not that you have to go on their way or adopt their way to socialize. You could do some kirtan and they like it. I saw your parents and they came for initiation of Sita Devi and they liked it. They take prasad, so give them prasad, chant there for some time, discuss that our life is meant for such and such purpose. Like sometime some Muslim came and then he was sitting the imam and then so I was just Radha Govind Maharaj. He was at the airport and he called me. He called him with this person, Muslim, in charge. And he was a little bit afraid. And then he asked that, oh, we heard that you worship a stone. Why do you worship a stone? He said that we don't worship a stone, but inside a stone, there is Krishna. We see that there is Krishna. We feel that. How come it is? He then gave the example that when you go to your and you pray, so you believe that he is listening to the prayer. So it's not impersonal. He must have ears to hear that, and then he sometimes reciprocates. So he must have a mouth. When he has mouth and ears, he must have the legs and everything. So he's a personal. He's not impersonal. So don't think that we worship a stone, but we worship Krishna, not made of marble or some dhatu, but it is we worship Krishna because we see that dhatu is an energy and he could come in energy. Like a big boss CEO, or they could go to even the prison house, he does not become a prisoner by going to a prison house. Same thing, Krishna comes to this material world to lift it us, but he does not get contaminated. Sun goes to so many filthy places, but he purifies them. So you could purify like a sun to the others whom you come in touch, and they will feel that just by your presence. No, here my son or my such and such relative, and unknowingly that they will feel pure. If not in this lifetime, nothing goes wasted. If you are Krishna conscious, they will become Krishna conscious. Not in this life, maybe later on, even if they get 0.1%, but that's a big credit. So that's what I can say.
Thank you, Gurumaharaj. It was actually really inspiring, especially to, me and Sita, just to clarify, it's Sita's family we're with, so she's, extra, she needs the pep talk right now. So we're so grateful, and thank you so much. We're going to do our best to be as Krishna conscious as possible, and maybe share some of that purification, if not in this lifetime, but in the next, some 0.1%.
Yeah, it should not be glorified. You know that those are the lower things. Like initial disciples of Prabhupada, they were all meat eaters. They did not know what is good and what is bad. But so many parents, they changed. They did not read Bhagavad Gita, but before dying, they took out the book and reading, and they were liberated. So in this way, there is nothing low or lost in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Anyone else has any comments or questions?
Thank you so much, Gurumaharaj. God bless you. God bless you, Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you so much for a wonderful answer, Prabhuji. Anybody wants to go with the next question?
Today here in India, it is Gita Jayanti. So
In US as well, Prabhuji, today is Ekadasi and Gita Jayanti, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So I will go down. Many people, they come, and I'm requesting anyone is welcome to come even for time being 10 days, 15 days, 20 days to see these villagers. If they take it seriously. It's hard to give it to them, Krishna consciousness. But if they follow, they don't follow for showing up. As many people, rich people, they wear, but that is just for show that they are a devotee. They are not just taking advantage of poor people. So it is easy. So please come to this temple in Khargon near Indore. You are welcome to come. We will give you free accommodation, free prasad, and whatever service you can give. Take a test.
Sure, Prabhuji. Which is the place, Prabhuji? Can you repeat, Prabhu?
Yes, Khargon, Khargone. It's in central province of India. It's a Madhya Pradesh, near Indore, about 140 kilometers or 3-hour drive from Indore airport.
Sure.
Khandwa is a railway station, 80 kilometers from Khandwa railway station. Khandwa is a junction. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Oh.
If nobody have any questions,
Mataji, Ekaradhika Mataji has hand raised.
yeah, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for the class. In the verse, it was talking about Brahma performing the austerities. And we do austerities, we do sacrifice, prescribed for this era, this yuga, the chanting of the Mahamantra Hare Krishna. And we pray, but if we pray for the Lord to help us, to overcome our difficulties, the obstacles, to purify our heart, or to purify our mind. If we're doing this devotional service, and if we're, including the chanting of the Mahamantra, hearing, speaking Krishna Katha, praying to the Lord, all of the 9 processes, if we can, well, maybe not the last one, full surrender, we're not there yet, but are these the things that we're to do, Prabhuji, to advance, to overcome our own obstacles? sometimes they seem difficult. Are these the things that we're supposed to be doing? What do you know, Prabhu? What else are we supposed to do to overcome them?
I really pay my respects and obeisances to you that you have come to all the level except the surrender. And that will also happen. Just continue with your sadhana and you will develop a rati or love, or it would be spontaneous loving service to Krishna. We are in sadhana bhakti, but it will become a raga nuga bhakti. So you are very advanced, Mataji. Really, I take the dust of your Lord feet. So don't you continue what you are doing is very, very nice. And by Krishna's mercy, you will advance more and more. Just half a minute. It's very heart touching. So yes, you will go back to God in this lifetime if you continue same way and follow. And then you will automatically you will follow. Once you follow, chant properly, have some serve to the deities and serve other people in one way or another, then that advancement is guaranteed. Krishna says that. And only by bhakti, that is what is bhakti. That you have a kind of like a bhav bhakti, or you have feeling for Krishna. It's not outside show up. So, Ekadika Leela Devi Mataji, I'm thankful to you for your saying these things, and others also can feel that. You come to Khargon, I welcome you. And you could preach just by your presence. You don't need to even speak Hindi or other language, and people would be benefited. Even wherever you walk, that becomes purified the place.
Thank you so much, Radhika Mataji, for wonderful question. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Shama Gauri Mataji, do you have anything, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam, all blessed.
Mataji, Prabhuji doesn't have audio.
Oh. Okay, now he has. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Prabhuji, your phone is muted.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay. I unmute and it becomes mute. Okay. Okay, it's okay now.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you now. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji, and very nice examples. You said like in India, they put the, in schools, they sing that Janagadna Mana in every school. And that is like,
Yes.
some kind of nonsense. Instead of they should sing some prayers, there are so many prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. They can pick one and sing out of that.
Right.
Thank you so much, Shama Gauri Mataji.
And thank you, Prabhuji. You are doing such a wonderful job of the temple in Khargon. You built the temple and you invited all of us for free accommodation and free prasad. That's really wonderful.
It's okay. That's how we have to reciprocate with the devotee. If I come to your house, you will feed me. So I will feed you also.
Thank you.
Devotee should have this. These are the exchanges of love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. If there is any other opportunity, whenever, then I will come back to you and see you.
Sure, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you
Hare
so much
Krishna.
for wonderful class, Prabhu. A very enlightening class. We are very grateful to you and we look for association again and again in the future, Prabhu. Let us pay obeisances to Prabhuji and all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha. Krupasindubhyascha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo.
Vaishnavebhyo
Mantra
namo
Srimad
namaha.
Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grace Shami Krishna Prabhuji ki jai. All glories, all glories. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so much.
Wish you all a happy Gita Jayanti.
Beautiful class.
Gita Jayanti.
So we should
Okay,
conduct an
Gita